There used to be a time not so long ago where doing your admin was tough. Customers throwing bags and boxes full of invoices and receipts at their accountants, it was chaos. While the world around us became more digital, new challenges in the land of accounting arose. Challenges such as organizing the huge amount of documents coming from different sources in various formats. Yet somehow all of this data did seem to get perfectly organized. In an almost magical way, automatic and intelligent transactions being pushed in real time into financial systems like Twinfield, Xero, and Sage, as well as capturing receipts and expenses on the go, and staying in control with an outstanding workflow for approving invoices. Now, what made all this possible? What is their secret? Basecone, where accounting magic happens.
Today is the first day of what yesterday we called the future. It's inevitable. And like the future, unpredictable, unstoppable. But there is one thing that we know. We're changing it now. Taking action to build the tomorrow we want. A new energy on the planet. More inclusive, shared, greener. It's in our hands. You can only change the world if you can change yourself. If you can find the will, the know, and the how. Because that's our story. To always discover a new ambition. EDP is using the power of wind, sun, and water to be 100% green and to support those who today are already changing tomorrow. EDP, changing tomorrow now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our second live session of WDL22. In case this is the first time you're tuning in or you just simply forgot who we are, my name is Miguel. I'm talking to you from France, and I'll be one of your hosts today. Here with me, I have Leon and Fabiana. Leon, what say you, sir? How are you feeling?
Hey, welcome back, I guess. I'm Leon. I'm currently live streaming from Antwerp, Belgium as well. And I'm also one of the co-organizers, of this World Data League. Fabiana?
Hi, everyone. So I'm Fabiana. I'm usually hiding behind LinkedIn posts, but now I'm on stage and I'm live from Portugal.
Awesome. Okay, so everybody's ready. I don't know if you noticed, but stage one is officially finished. This is
Yeah.
a big thing. It was 3 long weeks of work for all of you, for us as well. So I just like to say congratulations. I mean, honestly, congratulations to all the teams for getting this far. This is really good.
It was intense.
Now I know you're all super excited to know who the winners of stage 1 are, right? And we will announce them right after we finish our next moment, which is the WDL show. Like last month, we have several guests live with us today. These are people who one way or another collaborate with the World Data League to make sure we provide you, the participants, the best possible experience. Last month, we had the Tech Moguls. They were finalists of WDL21. And we also had Jonathan, Francesco, and Tomas from our main partners of WDL22. But this time we have a different cast, right, Fabiana?
Yeah, sure. So it's still an extraordinary set of guests, I may say. But we're starting with Christina Callier, hoping I'm saying the name right. She's a WDL mentor. And after, directly from Spain, we're talking with Paulo Fernandez and Paula Garcia. They are from the organizing team of NewSet Datathon. And you may have heard this before, but NewSet Datathon is a WDL external competition. And that means that the winning team gains directly access to the WDL semifinals. So we're having a new team joining us, and it's exciting. But we'll have the opportunity to talk with them about that right after.
Exactly. It's going to be a big one. Let's start by welcoming Christina. Hi, Christina. How are you doing?
Hi, great. Greetings from Amsterdam.
Oh, wow. Amsterdam. Okay.
Yeah. It was fun to hear that there's another person from the Benelux region. So, Leon, we're representing.
Good story.
Awesome. Christina, I want to start by asking you to tell us a little bit about your experience as a mentor so far. How did it go on stage 1?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of fun. I'll say being part of this has been a really incredible experience. First, to be asked, I think I was somewhat intimidated coming in to be a mentor of a competition of a bunch of data scientists who are working on, really potentially societally impactful problems. But my background, I don't have any sort of scientific background myself, but basically I come from the business side. I've co-founded and exited a video marketing technology tool that was rooted in different machine learning and computer vision systems. So I have a lot of experience in talking with data scientists, and over the years, they've sort of helped to educate me on maybe the layman's terms and helping and to understand what are the different capabilities with the different applications of AI. So I came into it as a mentor more on the sort of the business strategic side of things. And my team, the team that I coached the most, was focusing on the problem with the Green Mile project. So the really fun thing is that takes place in Amsterdam.
Oh, wow. It's almost like it was a coincidence.
Yeah, I mean, so that was really, really great, actually, because the whole the context of the problem. I walk by that street and cycle down that street, at least once a week. So I think I was able to really give a real world perspective that actually helped to sort of interpret some of the data that they were observing and some of the extrapolations that they were taking with the models that they were building. So that was, I think, really fun for the team as well.
That was a little bit of insider trading.
I know. Maybe they had a bit of an unfair advantage. Let's see when it comes to the the top 3 finalists. But also in thinking, what I really love about the league and the overall hackathon is the fact that it is really tackling some challenges that can potentially help from an environmental perspective to really create a better world. And I think that's as the last couple of years during the pandemic, a lot of my perspective and a lot of my priorities sort of shifted towards how can I use my expertise and my network to really have an impact beyond my own business, beyond myself and my family. So things like the World Data League is amazing to get really smart minds to solve real world challenges in a creative way.
Oh, that's great to hear, Christine. I'm very happy to know that we're also aligned we're also aligned there, and it's true. Like that's a big part of why we're doing the World Data in the first place. How was it? How did you run your mentoring sessions? What did you find that the teams were more worried about, and how did you tackle that?
Yeah, at first it was something as simple as, hey, we're trying to figure out a logo for our team. Does anybody have any recommendations? And I literally had just created a logo for a new venture that I'm working on using Canva. So I was like, hey, you can use Canva. It's free for many of the templates, and you can actually find some really cool stuff on there. So one of the teams actually used Canva. So it was, simple problems like that or questions like that. I did pretty much everything on Discord, any sort of questions that were popping up. As mentors, they pool us together, and we have, a set of 4 or 5 different startups that can reach out to us with different questions. So I just sort of in the beginning introduced myself and my background and where I felt I could help in all the different Discord channels. And then we decided as a pool of mentors to just sort of split the group, and then each of us was able to work really closely with add a little bit more attention, let's say, to a single mentee. And then we had a call in the evening on Zoom, and they shared with me, this was probably halfway through or 2/3 through, and they already had worked on some models, and they shared with me some of the findings and what they were planning. And in that situation, I think I was a good match, because they are a very technical team, and they approached it really from, okay, how can we make the most sort of accurate predictive models as possible? And I was saying, well, okay, this is great, and I can sort of help you interpret the data that you're finding, or the outcomes that you're finding with your models. But then what do you do with this? How do you actually address some of the problems and the challenges in this topic? So it was, how do you, and then we talked about in New York, it was a similar sort of thing. Like, how do they take a very busy street, Times Square, to make it a little bit more pedestrian, a little bit more sort of pleasant to be? And so then I shared with them, what I had seen and why they were doing it, and tried to sort of draw parallels.
Yeah.
And then shared with them afterwards, that gave them some new ideas. And then afterwards, I shared with them some articles that were sort of covering some of the topics that we had talked through in our mentor call. And then they really were able to go and run with it from there. So I sadly didn't have to do too much more for them.
Wow, but that was already a lot. Like, you really pushed the team, I would say, the extra mile to go beyond just the technical aspect of it.
Yeah, I think that can always be a challenge when I know when you are really so deep in the data sets, and you're really trying to, make sense of things, and there feels like there is this breakthrough when the output of your model actually makes sense given the sort of context. But then stepping outside of it and trying to see the big picture, and why are we doing this, and how can this sort of fuel recommendations that we might give to a very non-technical group of people, which is the government. That's, I think, I deal with that a lot. I have dealt with that a lot in companies that I'm advising, or on the advisory board for, or mentoring, and in my own company. So I guess I sort of have seen that challenge before. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because the technical skills, obviously they're important. I mean, without technical skills, you can't build anything. But even, like, we all know that they're not all. Even in WDL, we only consider, I think it's around 45% of the evaluation criteria look at the technical skills. So everything else, it's still the majority. And you're right in saying that most people, when they're working on these problems, they overlook it, and they shouldn't. So, what I also suggested was, hey, talk with one of the other more technical mentors that are assigned to your team. And I suggested one who I knew had a lot of hands-on experience in building models, and that's a nice sort of balance. I think as a mentorship team, we should all make sure that there's that sort of business perspective as well as the technical expertise, because it is majority business, but there is still 45% of that final score coming from the technical evaluation. So I don't want them to make a misstep. But yeah, so this has been for me really a lot of fun, and also sort of opens my eyes a little bit more to the whole world of hackathons, or not necessarily hackathon, but these sorts of competitions.
Yeah.
And getting an insider's look to it. So it's been a pleasure, and I hope to keep doing more with WDL.
That's great. That's great. That's great. I only have one last question because we're almost running out of time.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask, how did you feel in terms of feedback from the team? What's your opinion about the teams that you mentored so far? Not necessarily about their quality, although if you want to go there, feel free. But in terms of really the type of feedback that you got from them while you were mentoring.
One, I felt there were a couple of teams that already sort of worked together in their normal daily work life. And so I thought that was really smart, and also great that they were able to align with each other to say, hey, we're going to take our extra time and work together again on something different outside of work. So I thought that showed a real dedication, and also the fact that they collaborate really well together. So those were sort of just general things that I noticed. And I also felt that the team that I was giving a lot of this business feedback to was really, really receptive to it, and immediately started thinking about different ways to integrate that feedback into their planning for the final submission. So overall, I think that they clearly are a technical team, clearly work well together, and also take feedback really well. And that's what you always are looking for as a mentor in terms of your relationships with mentees. Awesome.
Wow. Awesome stuff. Thank you so much for sharing your experience, Christina. It was great. It was great to have you. We really have to go and move on, but honestly, I could hear this type of insight my whole day, because this is really the type of
I bet you do.
Well, thank you. Thanks for inviting me to share the experience, and thanks for inviting me to WDL in general.
Awesome. We'll keep in touch. It's not over. Thank you, Christina.
Looking forward to the winners. Bye.
Thank you very much. Okay, wow, that was great. Thanks, Christine. Let's now welcome Paula from Newset Datathon. Hello. Pleasure to have you both with us today.
Hello, so nice to meet you.
Hello,
girl.
Hi.
Yeah, so Newset Datathon. I heard the finals happened this week. How did it go?
Well, as you say, we had our closing event last Tuesday, and it was very exciting to see how this work all paid off, and how the participants were very excited about these finals and presenting their solutions. And well, at these finals, we had 5 teams that were ranked in terms of the metrics, and then filtered by those, and then they presented their final solutions. And I find it very funny, as Christine was saying, how we valued this different type of skills, like technical side, but also the business side, which we believe is very important. And it has been the basis of Newset Datathon from day one.
It's not all about the technical, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
our top 3, we could really see how they went further than just saying their insights and their results, but actually going into the business, and the way of presenting and showing doing a combination of both is what got them to the final and to win the competition.
Maybe let's take a step back just to tell a bit who's watching, what was the Newset Datathon about? Where was the challenge, and just the general functioning?
Yeah. Well, Newset Datathon was born as an initiative led by students and for students, because we believed there was a gap in the industry in which new talents were visible and were able to show their value. So basically, we created this initiative that consisted in 2 steps of the competition. So at first, we had the first month that consisted on the predictive model side. So let's call it the technical month, in which our 50 teams worked their best to get ranked among the top 5 teams. And what they worked with was the data set that our data provider provided, that was Amazon. And they basically had a business problem that they wanted to know if they could solve with machine learning. So after this month was over and we had this kind of classification and ranking, those 5 teams came to our venue of the main partner, IE University. So they came to the IE Tower and they presented their solutions in front of our audience. And basically we had some judges coming from different institutions with whom we had partnered. And these judges, as we were saying before, valued not only the content, but also the visualizations and how their presentation skills were, as to how were they able to give the insights that the company needed from their solution. And as Paula was saying before, it was really important to see how this top three teams were similar in the way that they were given the business insights, but were differentiating one from another in the aspects and the key numbers they brought to the company.
Amazing. I was there, so it was really nice in the final presentations. And this was your first event, like organizing as a team, right? Are we going to see more?
Well, that's a question that we're getting like throughout this week. That is something we're internally discussing yet, because at first we definitely didn't think it was gonna be as impactful as it turned out and as valuable for the participants. So it was very good news to see that people were happy about the initiative and that they actually took it as a learning experience that they could use like further in their careers. So that's definitely something that we're valuing and evaluating at the moment. You can see in our t-shirts, we have like the 2022 edition, but hopefully we'll have more in the upcoming years.
Oh, we too hope that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to ask, because obviously the winner of these finals will come to WDL22, will join us in the finals later on. Why did you decide to partner with WDL? What did you see in us that made sense for you?
I think that like from day one that we evaluated this alliance, what we saw was an alignment in the values of both initiatives. So I think it's very important that we're giving another perspective into data science. I think it's a very hot topic nowadays. I mean, that's obvious, but I think we're giving it the right path to follow, and we're evaluating the real skills that are needed in the industry. Because as we were talking before, sometimes we only think that the technical is what matters, and getting the best model with the lowest metric is what's gonna get you the job that you dream about. But I think we really know from our experience that it's not only that, but maybe how you're able to sell your ideas and to kind of express that knowledge that you got from the data and apply it to a day-to-day problem that a company or an institution may have. So I think that was the main characteristic that made us think that this alliance would make sense for both of us, and that our participants would be comfortable also competing in your league.
Okay, that's awesome. That's the best answer possible. Yeah, we're also very happy to have you with us, and I hope that this is the first and not the last time that we do something together. Thank you very much. We're running out of time, unfortunately, once again. Again, thank you very much for joining us live today, and most importantly, congratulations on the success of the New Set Datathon. We're really looking forward to seeing the winning team and having them participating in WDL22 in the semifinals.
That'll be very exciting.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, and now it's time for the leaderboards, right? So we're gonna go for a very, very, very short break. See you in a bit. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the live. It's time to know who are the winners. Fabiana, what's going to happen next?
So first, we're going to find out who won the Human Bingo. As you know, Human Bingo is stage 1 activity. And it was a lot of fun, at least for us, because we had like this set of questions about teams and people that we had to find according to some characteristics. And it was amazing because a lot of people participated, a lot of teams. It was a great way to meet everyone. So we're like super happy. You can see the full leaderboard on Keep the Score. You have the link on Discord, as always, on the activities channel. But here we also have the opportunity to see the top 3. So we're going to see a video and find out who won the activity, the first stage. So we had first place for Cape, was amazing. We're going to have the opportunity to talk with them right after. And then also congratulations to the third and second teams. It was Green at Seas and Bias Chamela. It's the hardest name to pronounce, so I'm sorry if it's not right. Cape team, can you join us? Are you there?
Hey, hello.
Hello, welcome.
Hello.
We're very excited to have you here with us. And we'll want to take this opportunity to ask you some questions regarding this activity. First of all, Was it fun?
I mean, for me, it was quite fun. Also for my teammates, and we had the opportunity to talk with other groups and search for stuff on the internet and talk and have fun. I don't know if Pablo, you have to say something about that.
I think Pablo is muted.
Pablo turned off his sound. He's like, I don't know if it was that fun. Think about it. No worries, Pablo. No worries. It happens to everyone.
Are you here now?
I have a question. Was it better to participate in the activity, or did you guys halfway just figure it out? I don't care. Let's just win the activity. Let's just take that. That's gonna be better.
I mean, it was fun to have this side activity for me, even just to chill a little bit and to have the nervous stuff of this challenge.
Yeah, we also found out lots of interesting things on the mentors and on the other team members that are participating in this challenge. So it was fun, for example, to know that one mentor loves cooking. So we found out lots of things with this side activity.
Or that someone made like a cooking book.
Yeah, exactly.
What was the hardest question?
For me, I mean, maybe the hardest was that one related to the WDL team, because for the question related to the other teams, that was quite asking for question to other colleagues on Discord. It was difficult to go on the list of the components of the WDL stuff and to search for informations for me.
We made it the hardest. But did you have a strategy? Did you all try to answer all questions, or did you split the questions?
Yeah, basically we split the question. One of us searched in the Discord chat, so we found out information on the other team members. My task was to search in social network, for example, on LinkedIn and Google, things about the mentors or specific things on the other team member. So basically we took one question for each one. So this was the strategy.
Do you think it made you better stalkers?
Yeah.
I think so, yes. Yeah,
Great.
Chiara was quite good on that.
Thank
Ooh.
you, Rico.
Chiara. Okay.
That's at least one skill you can take away from World Data League.
Exactly.
So Pablo is saying that his mic isn't working, so he's not ignoring us. We're gonna
No problem.
No problem. Paul. We see your facial expression and you seem happy.
Oh, I guess that's it. I don't know if you have other questions. I hope you're excited for stage 2 activities as well. We're going to find out later today. And
yeah, I hope to see you again on stage 2. I want to see you guys crushing not just the competition itself, but also the activities, because there's also prizes for that. So
Yeah.
Cool. Great. Thanks so much, Cape. It was very good to have you here and meet you.
Thank you.
Happy that we're training some new stalkers in the world. But now it's time to announce stage 1 leaderboard. Okay. I also have here the top 3 teams with me, and today they actually don't know who's the winner. We do, but they don't. But before they join me, let's see the rest of the leaderboard from 10th to 4th. Let's go. Yeah, and that's it. 10th to 4th, very, very, very close. And now we're just missing 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So with me, I have, and I welcome everyone to join the stage. I have Yodas from Portugal, Gionias from Colombia, and Database from Portugal. And this order was completely arbitrary, or was it? We don't know. We're going to find out. But before we announce the winner, let me just say that all submissions, and I mean all submissions, were evaluated by at least 4 jury members, and approximately half was evaluated by 5. This means that all teams who submitted for stage 1 had at least 4 experts evaluating their video pitch, executive summary, and Jupyter Notebook. So I'd just like to thank our jury members for their incredible work. It was a total of 136 evaluations on stage 1. Thanks, jury. And congratulations, teams, for being here. And now the moment of truth. I have to breathe in a little bit. I don't know if I'm more nervous than you all. I'm gonna start with 3rd place, okay? 3rd place, we have Database from Portugal with 240 points. Congratulations, team. It's very good, very good. You're in the podium. And let's see who's on 2nd place. On 2nd place, we have, I don't know, should I say? I'm gonna say it, don't worry. 2nd place, we have Yodas from Portugal with 241 points, which means that in 1st place, we have the Colombians, Gionias, 249 points. Congratulations, Gionias. What a win. Congratulations, everyone, for joining the podium. What a pleasure to have you. We're going to see the video pitch of the winning team, and we'll come back for an exclusive with our winners, Gionias. See you in a bit.
The city of Austin has a goal of reaching 0 waste by 2040. To support Austin's sustainability effort, our team, Gionias, wants to provide a tool for decision makers to create efficient public policies that help achieve Austin's 0 waste target. The tool forecasts waste trends and groups similar waste patterns across the city. So, how does our proposal tackle this objective? First, to forecast waste trends, we decided to focus on curbside collection, and within this category, to predict the load weight of the 2 most collected waste types, trash and recycling. Based on these variables, we forecast 2 key metrics for decision makers: total waste and the share of recycling in the total waste. With our main waste data source and external route collection maps, we map the waste route weight loads to census tracts to provide forecasts and insights, not only with waste data, but including socioeconomic variables. To do so, we use different geographical data manipulation techniques such as spatial joins. When analyzing the trends, we realize that the time series becomes very noisy. However, they follow a mid to long-term trend, which we consider to be critical to formulate public policies. Therefore, we focus mostly on predicting trends, where we evidence optimal results. Our forecast includes a probabilistic approach which allows us to have confidence in them. Additionally, we use clustering techniques to create cohorts of similar tracks based on key socioeconomic factors. With these clusters, we aim to facilitate the waste comparative analysis by grouping tracks with similar characteristics. Our final product combines both of these models into an easy-to-use and intuitive platform which facilitates the visualization of our model results. With our tool, the user can 1. Forecast the waste patterns for the next year and plan the resources accordingly, and 2. Ideate more focalized public policies based on track groups with similar socioeconomic characteristics. To give an example of our tool's potential use, we can improve the recycling behavior per clusters. As you can see in the waste trend insight section, for each cluster we can calculate the track with the highest recycling share. What if all the tracks in this cluster perform as good as the best recycling track? With our product, we can forecast the result of doing so. For example, if all the tracks in Austin perform at the highest level of recycling, the city can increase its recycling recollection from 38 to 87,000 pounds on average. Now, how do the decision makers accomplish this? Well, they now have to identify which initiatives are being done differently in the highest recycling tracts. It can be a special community recycling program, an educational campaign, you name it. Either way, we demonstrate here that our product provides a valuable decision-making tool to jumpstart social analysis via ML modeling techniques and to create effective public policies for waste reduction in the city of Austin.
Back. Once again, Gionias, congratulations for pulling this off and coming in first place in stage 1. How are you feeling? All good?
Very good, very good. We're
Of course you are. You just won first place.
yeah. How are you guys feeling, the rest of the team?
Surprised.
Excited.
I'm so
sorry,
happy.
Santiago.
A little bit nervous, but super happy. Yeah, to be here and for the results. I enjoyed so much the experience. So, yeah.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much. I wanted to ask you, what did you think about the challenges and data sets, and why did you choose the challenge that you did?
About both challenges, we thought they were really interesting, especially because I guess we all joined because we wanted to focus on how to use our skills and the models in order to actually create impact. So that was number one. What we did to actually choose was like throwing out some ideas and checking if the data was available for the ideas that we had. And at the end, we went with the waste because it just happened to be more aligned with what we wanted to do on the whole like scope that we were defining. And we came to an agreement, and that's when we started working on it.
Okay. How did you approach it when it came the time to choose between one or the other? Why did you choose that one and not the other? Did you do, I don't know, did you explore both of them? Did you just, close your eyes and say, okay, I'll go for that one?
No, I guess at the end, but no, we check the data and we say, okay, we thought, what can we do with this data? Then we started throwing like ideas, but from the scope perspective, like, is it enough? For example, if we went with the street in Amsterdam, okay, we want to do this, and perhaps we want to achieve this goal at the business level. Is the data enough? Can we find the data soon? Like, what do we need to do that? That's when we started like pruning out ideas that we had, and in the end, we had some ideas with waste in Austin. We found data that was like that was like really interesting in order to do like, we wanted to do like localized like planning, I guess. That's what mentioned the pitch. Like, how do we give these advices at the small, at a granular level? And that's what we found, the data about the routes and everything just came together. We started working on that.
Awesome. And what did you find about the data sets? Did you think they were appropriate? Did you see like missing data? What was your feeling?
Yeah, I mean, they were really detailed, so that's one very nice point. But also, I guess that comes at the cost that many times you have like missing values. In particular, for us that wanted to focus like on the small granularities for the routes, the tracks. Sometimes there was just no data for a whole year, so we had to also figure out, okay, which models might work for this kind of data, so that we don't have to do like work too much with the data and at the end not have any results just because we were like cleaning data. That was also part of the decision.
Yeah, which is what happens in real life, right? When you're grabbing these data sets that were collected in the real world, it's not like they come clean and ready to go, right?
Yeah. That is real. It's pretty real, as real as you can get, I guess.
Awesome. Anything else from Santiago, Diego, Irune? Are you guys all in agreement?
Yeah, but also, for example, from the policymaking perspective, it would be great also to have some additional data sets. For example, the policies that they already have been applied in some regions, if they were successful or not, and also the applicability, like the limitation of some of them. Yeah, I have missed a little bit of some additional data, more policymaking oriented, especially from the domain experts. Since, yeah. But in general, also the other challenge was, I mean, the data was in another language in which we weren't able to understand because we are not native speakers. So yeah, we were thinking, even taking into account that we were brainstorming different ideas, but when we were thinking around waste, it was more clear the product and also the impact of this. So we thought it was a great opportunity to pursue that.
Okay, cool. I have one last question before we go, but I want to pass the word to Fabiana first. I don't know if Fabiana, if you have anything to ask. If not, I'll just.
That I was just going to ask if they were excited, but I guess that's what you're asking too, right?
No, I wanted to know. The dirty little secrets. How did you win this? Like, what hints? Like, did you manage to figure out the best way to win at this stage? What tricks did you find? Obviously, legit tricks. Without giving too much, obviously, because you're still competing.
Yeah, without telling you how we hacked the leaderboard.
Exactly.
Now is the moment.
All right. I think for all of us, one really important step was, well, I guess two things. One is focusing on the end product, which was what the challenge actually asked for, and then having the checkpoint that helped us direct the efforts, like the last efforts, in a much more, I guess, targeted way in order to actually fulfill what we were asking in the challenge. So by talking to our mentor, we realized, okay, we need to put more weight on this and perhaps work a little bit more on this part of the solution. Even though we had like already like the solution form, like strengthen it, we had to, by the checkpoint, we could strengthen it in the points that we needed in order to make it more effective. Cool. I guess that's that. And the last part was hacking the leaderboard, but we won't tell.
That part. I want to know who was the mole inside WDL that gave you the password.
Yeah. Okay.
No, awesome, David. No, really, it's good to hear that you took some value from the mentors, because that's exactly why they are there. And great. Okay. I mean, unfortunately, our time is up, so I have to close this. Thanks, Gionias. Thanks, the four of you. Congratulations once again. Really brilliant work. I hope to see you on the next live. I hope to see you on the semifinals. I hope you have, above all, I hope you have a lot of fun in the competition.
It's been really fun.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Congratulations.
Bye-bye. Congratulations, guys.
Hi, thanks.
Fabienne, let's wrap this up because everybody just wants to know what's going to happen in stage 2.
Yeah, me too. I'm also curious to know what is the topic. Can't wait.
Okay, so let's just say goodbye. There's going to be a break. See you all on the other side.
Yep. See you now.
There used to be a time not so long ago where doing your admin was tough. Customers throwing bags and boxes full of invoices and receipts at their accountants, it was chaos. While the world around us became more digital, new challenges in the land of accounting arose. Challenges such as organizing the huge amount of documents coming from different sources in various formats. Yet somehow all of this data did seem to get perfectly organized. In an almost magical way, automatic and intelligent transactions being pushed in real time into financial systems like Twinfield, Xero, and Sage, as well as capturing receipts and expenses on the go, and staying in control with an outstanding workflow for approving invoices. Now, what made all this possible? What is their secret? Basecone, where accounting magic happens.
Today is the first day of what yesterday we called the future. It's inevitable. And like the future, unpredictable, unstoppable. But there is one thing that we know. We're changing it now. Taking action to build the tomorrow we want. A new energy on the planet. More inclusive, shared, greener. It's in our hands. You can only change the world if you can change yourself. If you can find the will, the know, and the how. Because that's our story. To always discover a new ambition. EDP is using the power of wind, sun, and water to be 100% green and to support those who today are already changing tomorrow. EDP, changing tomorrow now.
And welcome back, everyone. So yes, you finally know what is the topic for stage 2, transportation and mobility. We're going to have 3 interesting challenges, all coming from cities in Portugal, where you will tackle different aspects of mobility and transportation using data. And without further ado, let's dive into what are the 3 challenges. So the first challenge is optimization of public transport routes during road interruptions. So what this challenge concerns is specifically when you have public transportation, but then a road needs to be closed. So some of you already probably, when traveling inside a city in a bus, have already figured it out that bus have to take a detour. But sometimes finding the detour is not that trivial as it might seem. And where do you drop off the passengers? What if you have a really big main bus station where this road is closed? How do you actually do a temporary route which will have the least disturbance possible for the participants? And this is for the passengers. And this is the goal, to help to reduce the nuance for the use of public transportation and the public transportation company when there is road interruptions. And what we're looking here as an outcome is basically first is an analysis into the interruptions and route optimization, and a route optimization model or an approach which could minimize this disturbance for passengers. And also the model should be tested with different interruptions that are in the data set. What data do you have available for that? Well, you have data from the city of Cascais, where you have all the information regarding the bus routes and the schedules of the buses and where they run, but also all the roads that the municipality has and the road interventions there. And of course, you can use any other data, which we really highly encourage you to do, such as points of interest, to find out what are the areas where indeed there is going to be a bigger nuance or a smaller nuance. For the second challenge, and this one is coming from the city of Porto, it's predicting the flow of people for public transportation improvements. So the city of Porto, it's the second largest city in Portugal, and it has actually quite some difficult geographical characteristics. It's built on a hill, it has a river, which is a bottleneck for access into the city, which is done basically just for a few bridges. And it's actually ranking at 158 on the traffic index. So that's quite low in the ranking. And this is why the city wants to improve their public infrastructure to help reduce traffic, and also improve the urban sustainability, and quality of life for its citizens. Now, what are they looking as an outcome? Well, basically, they have for many years collected data, which is the origin and destination matrix with 2 hours interval to the city and from the city of Porto. And the goal is that you would create a model that predicts the flow of people on a short term. So we're talking about days or maybe even a long term, months, and to try to and from the municipality of Porto, and then try to look at how the usage of this public transportation influences this flow, and if there is any possible improvement points for how the public transportation is planned inside the city. So that's the second challenge. And as for the third challenge, well, it's the optimization of soft mobility drop-off points. And when we're talking about soft mobility, we're talking about e-scooters more specifically. So basically, this is a new thing in the city of Porto. And it has been already for quite some time seen as a good solution for the last mile travel problem. What is the last mile travel problem? You probably also already have it. When you look at how do you get from point A to point B to a city, you will see that sometimes the bus doesn't go right exactly where you want it to go, and you still need to walk 15, 20, 30 minutes. And this soft mobility solutions, such as e-scooters, could help in that situation. And recently, they also used drop-off zones, because you all know the problem that there is with the e-scooters when they are dropped anywhere where the users want. It kind of creates a polluted environment. So Porto implemented this drop-off zones where you only leave those scooters there. But even though there's small fines if you don't leave it there, and even with these fines, people are still dropping them off outside of these zones. So the goal here will be, based on the data provided, to study and analyze the pattern of mobility of the soft transportation in Porto, and to improve the overall experience and usability. And here, it's an optimization problem. And what we would like to see is the insights into the current usage of soft mobility in Porto, and also a model that could optimize the drop-off locations for the e-scooters. And here you have actually restrictions where you can have maximum 210 drop-off points, and they must be minimum 40 meters apart from each other. And again, for here, you will get the entry-exit validations for the round trips of the public transportation, but also the e-scooter usage data. And this is where was the e-scooter dropped off, where was it picked up, what was the trajectory. So you'll be able to look at all of this. Now, as you can see, these challenges, all of them are talking about optimization. So this is actually why we prepared quite a few workshops, which we hope that will help you. And this is why I also present the agenda now. So today we have the kickoff, and already on the 4th of April, we're going to have a route optimization workshop by LTP Labs, which I highly recommend for you to come and watch, because it will definitely help you solve at least 2 of these challenges. And then on the 7th of April, there's going to be a workshop by Nikolai. He's an expert in geospatial data science, and he's going to talk about working with geospatial data. And this is going to be everything from how to use Open Trip Planner, how to use OpenStreetMaps to get extra data. So please do participate, because I think it's going to be very useful towards solving a challenge. And then on the 11th of April, there's going to be a challenge by their data, which is code productivity, useful coding tips for a predictive boost, which we also hope will help you in general to solve challenges, not only for this stage, but all the stages and for your professional career. And finally, there's going to be also Scavenger Hunt, which we'll just hear a bit in a second. And do not forget that the submission deadline is on the 22nd of April at 23:59 anywhere on Earth. I would highly recommend to consider this as your actual deadline. So on the 20th, you should to yourself think about, okay, I need to deliver until the 23:59 of wherever I live, because then you still have some time to correct any mistakes that you might have in the submission, for example, and see if everything uploads correctly. But I will come back to that point in a bit. And of course, from the 23rd to 22nd of April, there's going to be a one-on-one career advice with BaseCon if anyone is interested, and we highly recommend just to have a chat with them and see how you could advance your career in data science. So now I'll give the word to Fabiana to talk a bit about Scavenger Hunt.
Okay, so as we mentioned on our previous newsletter, it's time to get your detective hats on and find some answers regarding our partners. We'll have a set of questions, and all the details are going to be communicated tomorrow on Discord. This activity will go from 2 to 18 of April. And besides the points to the general leaderboard, you're also gonna win some gift cards for Udemy, like this activity winners. Basically, it's gonna be a lot of fun, and it's gonna be a way of going back to your childhood and spend a good time with your team. At least we hope so. Now on to the next one. So this career advice with BaseCon, like Leon said, was going to be an opportunity to talk with mentors on one-on-one sessions, and you're going to be able to ask everything you want and all the questions you might have. And this activity will not be rewarded with points or prizes, but could change your life. So it's still worth it. And besides that, we also have like a small gift of ebooks for the first 10 enrolling on this activity. So we're very excited, and we believe this could be an awesome opportunity for everyone participating.
Perfect. Thank you, Fabiana. And before we move on to the next part of the session, we talked to the mentors, to the coaches. We looked at the mentor checkpoints. We also did some of our own observations, and we would like to leave a couple of tips for you if you want to win or be in the top 15 by the end of stage 2. And before you start, I mean, the first thing I would really love to recommend is that I think you can even already go and check it, is go check your feedback on the platform, see what the jury wrote to you, because there's going to be a lot of valuable information on how you could improve for specifically your case. And the second thing is that as soon as you know your schedule, book the mentoring session as soon as possible, because you can already do a retrospective with your mentors. You're already going to have your checkpoint done, and you can already plan for stage 2. So how are you going to approach the problem? And when you start, and again, I just would like to, this is what a lot of mentors and jury told us, is that try to think about the product first. The winning team already told them that the first thing they did is to think about the product, and this is what you should do. Well, how are you going to solve the problem through data towards the topic entity that's proposing this challenge? And then a lot of people also ask, so what metric should I optimize, or what is the prediction period? Well, again, this will depend on the product that you're creating. So based on your product that you define in the beginning, decide what is the best metric and what is the best prediction period for it. And for your first approach, try to get a baseline as soon as possible, try to get some basic features as soon as possible, and then work on improving that. Make sure it's iterative. And when you're developing your solution, again, don't forget about the product. That's always step one. The model is just a mean to an end, even though you need to have a model, because that's also in the evaluation part. Also, a good EDA will save you a lot of trouble and help you justify your decision, because this is also one of the feedbacks that we got. And it goes right to the next point, is that many teams did not motivate their actions, did not say why they chose certain models, did not say why they chose certain features. So it's really important that you motivate everything that you do. And also, if you claim anything, make sure to add references to it. And okay, there's a double one. I'm sorry for that. And then don't forget interpretability, fairness, and if needed, how would you mitigate any kind of issues with fairness in your model? Because we saw that some teams really did not pay attention to the part that's also in the evaluation criteria. Finally, for the data, we know that Open Weather Data only provides data for 1 year, but there were also some other suggestions on Discord where you can get other data. And we also had a couple of comments that there were some language barriers, especially in the data sets. We checked, and you could use Google Cloud Translate API with your credits. I think it's $10 for 500,000 translations, 500 characters translated. So it should be plenty. Regarding the notebooks, make sure that it's readable, comment all the code that you could, and before submitting, run everything with verbose mode off, because this is another complaint from the jury, is that the notebooks are so long that it's really hard to read, because you're just printing every single metric on every single iteration when you're building your model. And of course, discuss everything you tried, put it there, but if it's too much code, you can always move it to the end of the notebook, all this code that might be cluttering your main storyline. And finally, a lot of people asked us, like, how do I prepare my pitch? Well, you could start just thinking about, we solved A by building B, which is your product, for C, which is the organization or whoever the policymakers that are going to use, and we hope it has an impact on D. If you have that sentence, then you can kind of construct on top of it and build your pitch on that. But this is the general structure of the pitch should look like. And make sure that you have a conclusions at the end of when you're submitting your submissions. Do not submit last minute. We had a lot of people submitting last minute. Some, unfortunately, we couldn't accept some teams who tried to submit 1 minute late. The deadline is the deadline. So again, my recommendation, use your virtual deadline end of the day as the real deadline. And then if you have any trouble, you still have some time to solve some issues. And make sure that you double check that everything renders correctly and the text show correctly. So after submitting your challenge, you can click on Notebook and look at the notebook, and because this is exactly what the jury will see. And I think that's already a bit long, and I'm sorry for that, but I think that's also really great tips that we got, and we hope that they will help you in your quest for winning World Data League. And now we're going to move to the roundtable. So we have 3 guests with us, but before that, just wanted to remind you that you can ask questions on the YouTube channel, and we can also ask those to the guests. I think now we'll have a really short video, and then we'll start with the roundtable. See you in a couple of seconds. And welcome back. So as you can see, of course, this is not stage one lunch, but this is the roundtable for the second stage. And today with me, I have three wonderful guests coming from the topic entities that are providing the challenges, but also Nuno, who was with us last year, and he's also with us this year and has a lot of experience in working with mobility data. But maybe I will let everyone just introduce themselves. Maybe we can start Marta from the city of Cascais. Just a couple of words. You're on mute, I think.
Sorry. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm from the municipality. I work in the information and the smart cities unit. We have the open data storage with us. That's why I'm here, not so specialist in the mobility issues, but I will try to answer your question. Thank you.
Thank you. Then we also have João from Porto Digital.
Hi everyone, my name is João Figueiredo. I'm from Porto Digital Association. Here in Porto Digital, we're running many projects amongst this mobility topic, but also we have like a new open data portal. In fact, I'm a project manager here in Porto Digital. I'm not a developer, and the projects that I manage are clearly directly with mobility and also the open data one. That's why I'm here, I guess.
Exactly. Thank you for coming as well. And Nuno?
Well, hi everyone. Good afternoon, everyone, or good evening. It depends on where you are right now. Well, first of all, it's an honor to be here again with the team. I have to congratulate all the World Data League team for this initiative. Like you say in your website, you are global, it's a league, and we are going to make a social impact through data. Well, basically, it's a pleasure to be here and to talk on this particular topic that means so much to me about everything that concerns transportation and mobility. Like you said, well, currently I am the leader of a research company that deals a lot with mobility. And personally, I also do academic and scientific investigation about this topic. So I don't know if I agree with you with your so kind words, Leonid, when you said that I had lots of experience. Well, beside the fact that you were calling me old, beside that, well, the only thing I can tell you about this is that someone that works with this topic, well, for as much as it works with it, well, you're always learning, and that's the most interesting part of it.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much also for coming here. And maybe I'm going to start with a bit of a generic question, but I think it's important that I think for some it's going to be obvious, but for some not so obvious. And we always talk to the participants that whenever they think about the product, they also need to have some kind of impact behind it. So when they're going to propose a solution, that it should somehow impact. And actually it's interesting because public transportation mobility actually touch kind of two very big aspects in terms of impact. One is social. So, I mean, not everyone can have a car, not everyone is able to drive even, right? And they still need to get around for their daily lives. That's one thing. And then the other one is the most obvious one, which is environmental as well, because I mean, more people using their public transportation, it means less people in their own cars, which is also nice. So, but maybe if you could give a bit of insights from your point of view, from the city, or from Nuno, from your research, that how do you see the importance of public transportation, and if it's actually being used by a majority of people as impact, as social impact?
Well, I think that, and to be quite to be quick and fast, I think the question, like you were underlining, it's quite rhetorical, because there are so many impacts. In fact, you cannot address all the mobility problems, particularly in urban areas, without public transportation. You cannot have a sustainable and long run solution without public transportation on the equation. Okay, and it's not only well, the environmental impact, that it's quite obvious. But from a social point of view, to give you an idea, it's also and particularly economical, and a very important economical too. For example, well, we came from a pandemic, and during the pandemic, everybody was saying, well, public transportation is dead. No one can say that. No one can say that. No one could imagine what the kind of economic conditions will bring back passengers to the public transportation, or will force new targets to come to the public transportation. And to give you an idea, we had recently another experiment. For example, public transportation not only provide people without social conditions to their mobility, but for example, they are an indirect way even for income distribution. For example, with the change in the tariffs, the huge change in the tariffs that we made, they made it, in fact, a great impact. And for example, I guess Marta will address some of it, because they have very innovative projects about this, and about the role that public transportation has on the citizens of Cascais, and all the projects that they are designing right now.
So maybe I'll use Nuno's call to Marta to kind of piggyback the question to you.
Yes, we have quite an innovative approach to the public transportation. In 2020, the public transportation started to be free to every residents and workers in Cascais. So our goal is every child can go to the school by themselves, by the bus. People that work and live in Cascais, they don't have to spend any money in transportation, because we really had a problem of the a big dependence on the train, that it's not free, because it's not only ours in Cascais, but we have the city growth near the motorway, and the cheapest residential departments are in the north, and you have the services by the sea. So it's really expensive to circulate in Cascais. So we have arranged a new bus enterprise to work with us. They have new buses. They have new lines that we try that they are more close to the people needs, and we are open to assess this in these first years from this decision. But the pandemic situation doesn't provide us the real data yet, I think, because people still in different kinds of remote work, school. This is the first school year that the children go back to school, so it's not really the real data. I think maybe from 2 years from now we will have greater data that will really show us the impact of this option. But for now, it's really good, because the parking it's more expensive now. So we really try that people let the cars in home, and they come to Cascais to go to the services, to public services, to the restaurants by bus. And the buses are really comfortable, because we have to have dignity also in the public transportation. People need to go to work. They will have a meeting. They are with a different kind of clothes or something. They have to have dignity. They don't. It's not possible to have people all together in the buses. No comfort at all. So that's not a real public service. So I think we have a lot of issues to think about. It's not only to have the trains old, sometimes they are not secure. So we have to think about all that conditions to think in a public transportation strategy. I don't want to speak the time from
No,
for the others.
thank you. No, that's actually a really interesting initiatives, and I think if more cities also invested a lot in public transportation, it would definitely help boost. But let's talk with João as well about this, because there's the city of Porto, and I don't know how many of you know the city, but it's a very old city built on a hill with a lot of small streets going up and down. So João, maybe you can give a bit of perspective.
Old, Leonid, sorry, but Porto is old but beautiful.
That's true. That's true.
The most beautiful city in the world, I guess, at least in my opinion. So, but as Leonid introduced, we clearly...
Second one.
No. Okay, I won't argue that. It's not the forum for that.
It's not a competition.
Exactly. This is another competition, not this kind of competition. But as Leonid introduced, in Porto, we clearly have a traffic problem. So we look to the ranks. Yeah, I think we are the worst city in the Iberian Peninsula in terms of traffic. And we don't want to stand so low in this kind of rankings. We want to get higher. And we encourage people to use public transportation. In fact, we have we run a project here that it's the card, the city card. It's the Porto Ponto. It's like Porto dot card. And the young people with this kind of card can move around the city and 2 areas in the suburban zone for free. So we clearly encourage people to use the public transportation. We also have, like, as Leonid said, because the city is up in hill, there is like the river, there are bridges, but they are planning to build a new bridge with a new metro line to expand south, because most of the people come from the south. And currently only 1 metro line came from the south. We want to expand the city from south by creating a new bridge just for a new metro line. We also have projects here by having new buses moved by hydrogen to use in the area close to the beach of the city, which is not served by metro currently. And this is only the social impact. But if you go environmentally, and data is important, data said that 36% of greenhouse gas emissions in the city are related with transportation. So if you reduce this, you reduce either 2 problems, the traffic problem and the environmental problem. So clearly this is it's very like a huge topic here and a hot topic in the city of Porto, the public transportation management and data, and the importance of data in helping the decision-making process.
Well, then maybe I will ask another question, which is, because this topic is kind of recurrent, right? So how do we get people to use public transportation? Like, it's a really hard problem, and I see a lot of events around that. I see a lot of people discussing it. But because we have a lot of great experience here, from your experience, why do you think that there's still a big chunk of people who just don't use public transportation or prefer to take the car? Or like, why is there, maybe we can go now the other way around. We can start with João, go to Marta, and then Nuno finish.
Okay, so it's difficult to have like a proper answer to this kind of question, because it's a $1 million question almost.
Indeed.
Normally it needs like half of a generation, or at least 1 generation, to change habits, and many people have possibilities to use public transportation, but they are not used to. Other people don't have like the network that clearly adapts to their needs. And in fact, I think we need more solutions. We have a solution here that is in Estádio do Dragão, because Estádio do Dragão has a metro station and there's a big parking lot below the stadium. So you can go by car to Estádio do Dragão and park the car over there by €1.20 per day. It's almost free to park for an entire day, and then you can take the metro and ride. It's called park and ride. The problem is, for people that coming from south, you have to cross the bridge. So again, the problem is there. So I think one solution, and they are creating this kind of solution, the metro is expanding south, as I said, not just in the second bridge, but the first bridge, the lines will going souther in Vila Nova de Gaia municipality, and they are thinking in creating a new solution like that. You can ride your car, park over there by a very small amount of money, and then you can enter the city and move around the city by public transportation. I think these could be like new opportunities, new ways to enter the city and move around the city, either for work, for leisure, for shopping, for whatever the people want to do in the city.
Perfect. And maybe perspective from Cascais or from you, Marta?
Yes. We have access to some studies that says that women adopt more easily the public transportation than that men. So I think maybe we have to work in a strategy to convince men to come to the public transportation, because women already is the kind of people that use mostly the public transportations. I think it's more or less what João has shared with us, because people need to have comfort. So you go to shopping, you don't want to go with your bags, or if you're going to work and you have some place to park the car, it's easy, even if you have a lot of traffic to be in for an hour or two. I think people wants to have comfort. So if the public transportation gives more frequency, so you don't waste much more time in the public transportation than with the car, I think the time is an important aspect, and the comfort. So I think they are the two more important things, and that the relation between the place that you can park the car and this interface to the public transportation have to be easy, so people can adopt, and it's easy to park in the stadio or in a big parking place, and then you have the underground or a bus, a really cool bus, new one, clean bus. It's important, I think.
Thank you so much, Marta. And Nuno, what's your experience from also the data that you've seen?
Yeah, well, Leonid, do you know why I like the World Data League? Well, because you love data, like myself, and you don't bullshit. So I have to tell you the truth. Working with this data, this is not a new topic. Like you said, it's an old topic and still remains unsolved. So the point is, all the topics that focus on optimization and all the teams that are competing will put their hands on the problem. Please, I have two recommendations for them before answering your question. Don't miss any workshop, mainly that Nikolai workshop about geospatial data, and then look at the literature. There are lots and lots of things that have been done so far about this topic. But now I'm going to give you my personal opinion about the question, how do we bring new targets into the public transportation? Well, typically, and this is such an important and hot topic that, for example, the amount of investment on scientific investigation in the last 6 years has been heavier and bigger than ever. So everyone in every country is trying to find solutions for this and to optimize and to give the best solution, the best public transportation solution. The point is, in my opinion, and that's what I really expect from all the teams, is that historically we are focusing on the offer, on optimizing an offer. And we are just doing route optimization and trying to define the best network just to fit demand, what people need. But we really need to look at this data, all the data. We have a huge opportunity. We have more data than ever. We really need to look at this data with different eyes. Why? Because our needs today are completely different from the needs we had one generation ago. And for example, João was talking about cultural issues that prevent people from using public transportation, or historical issues, and of course, convenience issues. The point is that we need to look at public transportation sometimes with marketing eyes. What do a consumer of public transportation wants? What does he want? He wants, of course, convenience, like João said. So I want to use public transportation for my mobility need, for my particular mobility need. But I want other things. I want convergence. I want it to be fit with multimodal solutions. I want to collaborate in the solution. I want to collaborate and to communicate. For example, the way people and the new generations are communicating with banks, with insurers, for example, with telcos, with all service providers. And we cannot forget that, well, this is public transportation, but it's a service. As a customer, I also want to have control. I also want a service that is consistent, and I want it personalized. So instead of looking as a hard and typical transportation service, I want to go from point A to point B and that's it. We need to start looking at it as an experience. I want to give people an experience. I want to know, for example, I have to communicate. I have to, yes, of course, have the best offer as possible. That's where optimization comes in. But then I have to communicate with people. I have, for example, Marta, it's typical women, of course, are heavy users, but let's make a campaign. Let's say, well, you bachelors, come and find your bride here, for example. I don't know, let's think out of the box. Let's think out of the box because we are facing new generations with new values. This new generation is really concerned about environment, and that's what the kind of that's with these kind of eyes that we have to look at data. Today, for example, 10 years ago, we didn't have data with profiles, for example, with age profiles. We couldn't know the motives for mobility. What am I going to do? Okay, I'm going downtown to have a glass of wine, for example. Now, data can provide that to us. So we have the best opportunity. All the teams here, they have several backgrounds, which is lovely. That's the kind of eyes that we need for these kind of solutions. And that's my real hope. And I really hope that you find brilliant solutions here. But really, public transportation needs to get to the people, to make it an experience, and to start looking at it as a service, as a product, to ease people's lives. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Nuno, for also this insight, and maybe what you just said about data, and I will kind of piggyback there. So indeed, this is a data competition, and now for some of the participants, this is going to be the first time that they look into mobility data. And as you said, it's also a really great tip to look at those workshops because those are going to be very important. But it's also their first time looking at the data from the domain expertise, so to say. So I think it would be interesting to hear a bit. I mean, all of you know more or less what are the challenges. It would be interesting for the participants to hear what kind of things they should look into the data, or how can the data help a bit solve the challenge or the problems that are at hand. And maybe to mix things up a bit this time, we can start with have we started with Marta yet? Not sure. No, right?
I think so.
No, so maybe we can start with Marta.
Well, that's the tricky question for me, because I really think it's a challenge, a big challenge that the teams have in front. I think maybe the the data can help to provide this service that Nuno says. I really agree with this with these ideas, because people want to be in control. If data can give us the information in real time, if you can have an app that it's really easy to use, to have the information and to decide if I will wait for the bus or I will catch a bike and go to another point to catch another bus. I think if we can have these kind of solutions, these kind of apps, I don't know if the data that they have will help to arrange this kind of apps, but I think that is the future. We have to start communicating with people like that, because we see the Uber in Portugal, it really penetrates in everybody. You can see not only the more health people, but even the people that before you sometimes get a cab, everybody now use the Uber. So maybe if the public transportation use this kind of language and this kind of features, people will use more. So I think it's the way.
Thank you so much for the interesting insights. Maybe Nuno next, I don't know, just randomly.
Yeah, sure. Well, some tips for all the teams about data. Well, like I was telling you, I have to tell you the truth. If you love data, working with mobility data and transportation, well, this is some sort of the holy grail, because, well, it's complex, but it's beautiful in its complexity. So what will you find? Be aware with spatial units. Everything is related with everything. Look at time. If you have, for example, data over time, then it makes it even more complex. If you are studying ODs, it depends on the spatial scale. So when I was telling you, please don't miss Nikolai's and all the other workshops, please don't, because the way to work with spatial data, it has some very tricky and interesting things that you'll be able to see. And then another issue is precisely that you will find lovely is to make forecasts, to make predictions. The data is so complex that you should keep always in mind your solution, that although it's complex, you will have to find a solution that is relevant, impactful. It is, of course, a relevance, a social relevance. It can make a difference, it's impactful, and it's explainable. The point is, don't get lost in the data. Don't get lost. Look at it from a top to bottom approach. Look always at the most aggregate and start drilling, because you are going to have lots of fun, I'm sure.
Okay. And maybe we can go for João. João, what is your perspective? I mean, you work.
My perspective is like Porto perspective, and just to underpin what Nuno just said, when you are analyzing like mobility data, it is really important to understand these trends and the patterns, because we cannot have like the routes, the pre-established routes from like Mondays and weekdays and weekend days. You have to understand that there are events in the city that occur during weeks and during the weekends, and transportation needs to adapt to this like in real time, because people are moving like in blocks, because they share needs, they share likes, and they share desires and wills to go. And one thing that could, in my opinion, I'll give Jack a personal example of what happened. I think it's like 3 weeks ago. Porto was playing, the football team was playing here, and I was with my family shopping close to a metro station, and I say, okay, now I will take the metro to the stadium, because I would imagine that if it were like a football day, metros will come quite often. I arrive to the train station and metro will last half an hour to come. A metro that goes directly to the stadium. This makes no sense, because we have to make predictions on data. Data should help to make predictions how people move. What happens to me and other people, I took Uber with other people to go to the stadium, because it's the only way to arrive to the game just on time. Otherwise, I'll arrive at the game late. So this is very important. When you see many people going around one place, one specific event, the city needs to adapt to this. The city needs to predict, and that's why what Nuno says, analyze from top to down, because people move in trends and patterns. They don't move randomly all the time. That's what I said.
Okay, perfect. Well, I think that's also more or less the time that we had. Thank you for all your great tips. I think it was very insightful for the participants and all the challenges that they will need to work in the following 3 weeks. And for now, I think just a big thank you, Nuno, big thank you, Marta, big thank you, João. And for the participants that are watching us, in 30 seconds, you can go to the platform and you can already start looking at the challenge description and the data. You can start digging deep as much as you want. And do not forget about the tips. Especially don't forget to contact your mentors as soon as possible to plan your retrospective and to also start planning what you will be doing during stage 2. And for that, let's say goodbye. Bye-bye, everyone. And
Bye,
good luck.
have fun.
Bye, everyone. Have fun.
Thank you. Good luck.
Good luck.
There used to be a time not so long ago where doing your admin was tough. Customers throwing bags and boxes full of invoices and receipts at their accountants, it was chaos. While the world around us became more digital, new challenges in the land of accounting arose. Challenges such as organizing the huge amount of documents coming from different sources in various formats. Yet somehow all of this data did seem to get perfectly organized. In an almost magical way, automatic and intelligent transactions being pushed in real time into financial systems like Twinfield, Xero, and Sage, as well as capturing receipts and expenses on the go, and staying in control with an outstanding workflow for approving invoices. Now, what made all this possible? What is their secret? Basecone, where accounting magic happens.
Today is the first day of what yesterday we called the future. It's inevitable. And like the future, unpredictable, unstoppable. But there is one thing that we know. We're changing it now. Taking action to build the tomorrow we want. A new energy on the planet. More inclusive, shared, greener. It's in our hands. You can only change the world if you can change yourself. If you can find the will, the know, and the how. Because that's our story. To always discover a new ambition. EDP is using the power of wind, sun, and water to be 100% green and to support those who today are already changing tomorrow. EDP, changing tomorrow now.